Hi, I'm Gwen.
And I'm Deonta B.
And I want to welcome you to this edition of Gwen's Business Corner with Deonta B, where we talk to guests who are business professionals, entrepreneurs, and entertainers that can assist you in moving the needle in your business. And today we're talking about one of our favorite topics, but we're talking about small businesses who ultimately, a lot of times, they don't know how to pay their taxes. They go so many years without paying their taxes. But if you haven't paid your taxes in a long time, as a small business owner, even as an individual, what should you be doing, right? And also, how can you stay compliant where you don't get behind? So our guest today is...
Well, we have the Yvette D. Best. She is the founder of Best Tax Solutions, and they also call her the IRS Problem Solver.
Hey,
yes.
Hey, everybody. Hey.
Welcome to the corner.
Welcome to the corner, girl.
Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for having me here. But I do want to start off by saying I want to thank God.
Oh,
Yes,
Jesus.
yes.
I want to thank God for this, I feel, is a monumental moment.
Oh,
we
wow.
have 3 black women, 3 millionaire tax pros in the industry, collaborating with each other and being the example that it can happen.
Yeah, it's unheard of in our industry a lot of times, just because we are always looking at each other as competition,
Right.
right?
Yes, and we need to stop that.
We
It's-
do.
It's just so much money out here. It is enough money for everybody. You just got to get into that abundance mindset. And if you need an example, here it is.
Well, we appreciate you coming because you deal
sure.
with something ultimately, like we're in the same industry. We know that you do know how to do taxes, but you deal with something that we don't ultimately deal with on a regular basis. Like our clients have the issue of where they haven't paid taxes, they haven't filed taxes. The IRS is coming to garnish and put liens on them now. But we don't do that side of it, and that's something you've been doing since 1989. That's a long time. And you're not only that, like you said, you've built a 7-figure business, which means like that's big within itself. So tell us, like, how did you actually get started in saying, I want to be the problem to most taxpayers' issue when it comes to the IRS by helping them, being compliant?
Well, first it started off, I was preparing taxes, but then I saw a lot of business owners kept having tax problems. They were making money, but they wasn't paying their taxes. So what motivated me is that I'm like, okay, if they have effective tax management, they won't have tax issues.
Right.
So it motivated me to educate them on how really not to become my tax resolution client, how you can effectively grow your business, become rich, and pay the IRS a little bit, and do all the things, and stop thinking that you're just gonna make money and just not pay. It's not a thing.
Right.
It's not a thing.
Right.
It's not a thing.
It's so funny to me how many people feel like they can avoid paying taxes just because they might see other, the big celebrities saying they didn't have to pay, but that's not how it works.
And they go to jail too.
Right.
Like, if you want to go, like, I don't want to spend a day in there, so I don't want nobody else to spend a day in there.
So your firm, Best Tax Solutions, you just talked about it a little bit. You help businesses stay compliant with the IRS, but you also help them grow profits while doing that. So what are the 3 key steps that small business owners can take to stay ahead of their tax obligations?
1, making sure that they got excellent bookkeeping, and making sure they're keeping all their receipts, so that way they could take advantage of all of the deductions and credits, because credits are important too. 2, making sure that they have somebody that's competent doing their taxes, not just going to the person who said, I'm gonna give you the hookup, or that guy or that girl that's giving out these outrageous refunds, which you know they don't exist. Also, just making sure that they are good with their business, that they're learning as well, that they're not just taking the business and putting it into somebody else's hands.
Right.
Being accountable for knowing about their business, the deliverables when they see their profit and loss statements, the deliverables when they see their tax return, and that it is a legal requirement to go over the tax return with your client, and that they should know what's on the tax return instead of just, oh, look good. Oh, you told me I'm getting 10,000. I signed.
Right.
Nugget. So, what is the most common thing that you see within the when it comes to individuals and small business owners that lead them to actually have a compliance issue?
The first year when they make some real money and then they owe the IRS and then they don't have the money to pay and then they don't file their taxes and then they just go into a spiral. That very first year they make some money. You know, I work with travel agents, real estate agents, realtors. Mostly those three industries. They sell a house, they make some money, they have a W-2 too, they have a debt, they can't pay, they don't file the taxes. Then they just think, I'm just never gonna file taxes again. I don't even know how that works, but it usually starts right there. The very first year they make a lot of money, they have a tax debt, and then they don't pay and don't file.
Well, do you think that's a lack of education? Like, how do you think as a whole in our industry that we can do a better job at, you know, informing them of what their tax obligations are? Because what I hear is that a lot of people they don't understand or know.
But part of that is the business owner's responsibility. I can't help you with the business I don't know anything about until you come and see me in February and say, hey, by the way, Yvette, I started selling houses and here's my 1099 with $40,000 on it. It doesn't work that way. You have to have tax planning. So this is why it's encouraged that you should be meeting with your accountant, if not quarterly, at least twice a year. You should be reaching out to them to tell them, hey, I got this thing going on, and be willing to pay. Please know that that's not part of tax preparation. Tax planning is a separate charge. Tax resolution is a separate charge. Business advisory is a different charge. And when you're in business, you will have to pay all of those charges and like it, because you want to be able to make sure when it's time to pay taxes, that you're paying as little as possible and you have access to the knowledge that the accountant has for all of the tax credits and deductions.
Love it.
Yes.
She said something. Pay every single separate one. Okay.
Right. So you help employees develop a 7-figure lifestyle. So what are some strategies that you utilize to turn employees into effective leaders? Because we know everybody ain't.
Oh, okay. So I do that the best because I have done it for myself.
Okay.
So I love when I have the person who has the business with the side job. So they have a W-2 and they want to get out of that W-2. So I help them plan on taking that business funds by changing their entity and start paying them on payroll. So they can, in time, just take that payroll, build it up to replace the W-2 that they already have. So when they go full-time into business, they're already getting paid, so they don't miss anything. And I think the hardest part for business owners is when they are struggling to pay personal as well as business expenses. So when I get them at that point when they already receiving a W-2 and we can build a business to replace that W-2, they can go into business and be more effective. So I just like the plan of, you have a W-2 and you have a business. This is your dream. You want to be rid of this W-2. So let's work on replacing the W-2 while you still have this job, which should be easy, because if you have a W-2, that W-2 should be already taking care of all of your things. Also, just convincing them that this is a thing. Sometimes the hardest part is making them believe in themselves. They believe, they like, I can do it, but then don't believe they can fully do it. They don't know that they can have the same 401ks, HSAs, everything that they have as an employee, they can have as the employee of their own company. So you just have to encourage them and inspire them to let them know that they can do all those things.
I think that's very important, because I know I've been in business for a long time, and for me, because I wasn't educated, even though I do tests, because they think because you do tests, you know everything, right? But because I wasn't educated on that component of my finances for so many years, I went without that mindset. And then later on when you're in business, it's like, dang, why did I do that, that many years ago? Like, we make all this money there, but we never get into those components of understanding that as a business owner, you have to put certain things in place for yourself as well. So I love that. So that is a saying that there's riches in niches, right? And you specialize in travel agents, real estate agents, is it insurance agents as well? And so a lot of small business owners, they are scared, especially the tax pros, they are scared to say, okay, this is my niche market. These are my target audience of who the people that I'm going after. What made you decide that these are the industries that you wanted to tap into, even though I think you possibly might do other people maybe as well,
yes.
but these are your primary industries?
I didn't. They came to me.
Okay.
I don't know what it was. It was just my beacon. I feel like my light was on to help people who were on the cusp of having an IRS problem. So I wanted to be proactive. Even though I specialize in tax resolution, I want to be. I don't want you to be my tax resolution client. Tax resolution not cheap, and you do not want to have to pay. You do not want to have to keep writing them 5-figure checks to be getting out of tax IRS debt. So I was like, well, what can I do? And who are the people who's always owing? And it's travel agents, insurance agents, and realtors or real estate agents, because they are the ones who getting 1099 income, and usually those 3 industries, they are also receiving W-2s from an outside source. So I just felt my beacon was on, and then they just started coming in.
I get that. Because realtors, they just don't know for real. I'm a realtor, but I knew, but they just don't know for real.
So let's talk about something we fail to talk about a lot, that Gwen said she also has to deal with, imposter syndrome. How do you overcome the feelings like when you have any type of inadequacy or, just not feeling worthy? How do you remind yourself that you are worthy? And especially when you have like high pressure situations, especially like how you just said, the type of clients that you deal with.
God. Most of the time when I have issues, and most of my issues stem from the way I was brought up, because I was brought up just, oh, Yvette, you're pretty. Why are you trying to be so smart? You're gonna find a husband. You won't need any of that. And you're like, what do you mean? I'm getting straight A's. Why is that not good? Right. So a long time I struggled with that. Like, why I'm the smartest one in the room, but you still telling me, oh, you're so pretty. That doesn't leave you with a good feeling at all. So I really tap into my achievements, my education, my experience, my commitment to lifetime learning, my excellent financial well-being. And when I think about all of those things, I just think about the impact I have made in other people's lives. People who I don't even know who have reached out and said, Yvette, when you shared that, I was so inspired by that. I just think about those things, and even my humble beginnings, I still tap into that, because when I share that, I really think that there's some, not even a little person, someone my age grown, that's like, oh, thank you for saying that so I could go forth and be great and stop doubting all the things that I'm doing. And all else fails, just turn on some Mary J or Glorilla, pick your poison.
Okay, let's do it.
Pick your poison.
So she's talking about imposter syndrome. That's one thing that we deal with, a lot of business owners deal with. The other thing is the balance of family time, right? So how do you balance or prioritize? Because I know you're married. I don't know if you have kids or not. Okay. How many? Okay.
4, but 3 of them is grown though.
Okay. So how do you balance, especially in our industry, because when it's tax season, a lot of times you're not able to be around your family because your clients are so demanding during that time. So how do you balance being a wife and a mother and then building a 7-figure business?
The balance has came probably since 2018 when I left my job full time. Until then, from literally 89, I was working for someone else. 2006 to 2018, there was no balance. Like I said, I have 4 children. Those 3 kids, oh, they could tell you about how they had the ghost mom during tax season. I was a whole ghost, like nowhere around, nowhere to be seen. It was literally this 15-year-old I have that's really have changed my whole focus about life balance. And then he's just like, oh, I'll just let you know when I need you to be there. So the rest of them, they always just wanted me there all the time. He's more like, hey, I know you have some things to do, but I'm also doing some things, and I'm gonna let you know when I need you there. Now, the other times that I'm giving you grace, really be happy for the grace that he given me. Yeah, that part. I love travel. Ooh, so I really travel at least once a month, even during tax season, because my birthday is in tax season, my anniversary is in tax season, 2 of my kids' birthdays is in tax season. So I travel a lot, and like this time of year, we're now for November, December, I'm just like flying. Like most of the December, I'm just traveling that whole time if I'm not doing any what I call business travel with continuing education, hashtag destination education. I just really spend a lot of time with them doing that, and I really realized that after 2018, because that was the very first year that I took off for my anniversary to spend it with my husband. I was like, well, then nobody ain't die, ain't nobody call, and I can use my calendar, and I can really block this time off, and they could just believe that I'm with a client, that I just don't have the day available. And when I got really empowered by that, I started using that count, blah, 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 blah. And the thing about it is, I mean, even though my audience gonna watch this thing and be like, Yvette was on vacation, she wasn't with no client, it's okay. I needed that time so I could get back to you.
So did you say like from how long to how long you never took off for your anniversary?
2006 all the way to 2018. That was not a thing. Like it was like, oh, it's our anniversary. See you tonight. That's it. And that was really what it was.
So your husband gave you a lot of grace.
Oh, yeah. It's how reflecting things. Like I see why he used to be walking around with that attitude. Like, if anything about taxes, it's like soon as the new year came in, he would just have attitude. Like, oh, okay, so now I see. But now it's like. Now just planning, like I'll be planning an event, like okay, I go to the calendar, I start blocking off 25, 26, 27, because 2026 will be our 30th year anniversary. Oh, wow. So yeah, I start blocking already, like I'm gonna be off this week, this another week. I think I'm gonna take 60 days here, because I'm trying to go to Asia. I got some plans for 2026. So
I got you.
That's how travel. And then you could, my son works in the business, my husband works in the business. So, we could just travel together.
Right.
And make that a nice board meeting. You know how it goes.
That's a good tax strategy. Y'all better catch that.
It is. So tell me this, what you saying that. So when you guys are all traveling, who's making sure the business is still flowing and everything? Because a lot of times, often, we're like that. The family works in the business, and then when you have to be off, then it's like, okay, what's the strategy to make sure the business is still, moving? Okay, so remember I told you I outsource all the things I don't want to do. Remember I said that's how, because I like to actually do the work. Right. So when I decide to take time off, then I'm going to actually make sure that there's no work to do. So there's going to be a logical stopping point. But we have young ladies that answer the phone, they make appointments. Okay. Then I have a young lady who actually does like back office work. So if somebody's calling and say they need a copy of their tax return, they need something else, I just need a little question answer, we have somebody on the back end doing that. But for the most part, when it's work, that's why I plan a lot of my vacation during December, because really there's nothing going on except proactiveness for me. Like it's really like me being able to upload all the clients' stuff, get their stuff together. This is work for me. This is not work for them. So that gives me the time to say my son's birthday, is December 23rd, like, okay, when you go on vacation from school, then I could go on vacation with you and just relax. So I do a lot of planning. And the more I had planned, the better it got, so I can have that work-life balance.
Gotcha. So I was just sitting here thinking, we said that you did tax resolution, but a lot of the audience might not know exactly what revolves around tax resolution. So can you tell the audience what exactly tax resolution is?
You have a debt. So, like I said, that very first year, you made some money, or you took out money from your retirement and didn't take out any federal withholding, and then you owe, and you don't have the money to pay. So then you may say, I just want a payment plan, or I want a partial pay, or they always want to offer in compromise, but yet and still you still have the same income and everything as before, so here you're going to give those people their money. Or they're audited for something that girl did when you got that $30,000 refund and you just thought he was so great and then you never saw him again. Or if you don't resolve those two issues in the beginning and you let it fester, or you just decide not to do tax returns for a very long time, and they, meaning the IRS, decides to give you their version of what your return is going to be. Mm-hmm. And then you will get a letter. Or anytime you get what I call the special white letter, you will have what I call a tax resolution problem. Because sometimes it might be something simple, sometimes it might be something, because IRS make mistakes too. Oh, please know the IRS makes a lot of mistakes. Right. And now they have a lot of new people, so there's a lot of more mistakes on top of that.
Don't get me started.
So basically we on the phone teaching them, even though I don't work for the IRS, even as me being an enrolled agent, people think, oh, sometimes they think you work for the IRS. No, I work with them, but I really think I work for them too with no check. So, yeah, that's mostly what tax resolution is, but it's to basically resolve any open issues you have with the IRS, get back on the right track, and then go forth and be compliant going forward.
Gotcha.
Let me ask you this though. Is it true? Because a lot of times people hear on the radio in reference to these commercials where they say, I can get rid of your tax debt. Right. Can you call and pay someone and just get rid of your tax debt? I mean, I'm asking for the audience.
It depends. And 99.99% of no. When can you get rid of IRS debt in its entirety? So let's just say you made some money and had an IRS debt, and then you wasn't working anymore. You was disabled. You receiving Social Security. You receiving some type of income, which you're never going to be able to pay that debt back. Those are the people that could probably be uncollectible. But if you're single, and you made $200,000, and then someone told you, I could go exempt for 6 months and I still will be able to pay all my taxes, and you owe, and then you went the next year and got a raise, and now you make $250,000, yeah, you're gonna pay all that money back. They not giving you no partial pays. They not. And I know they tell you that. I'm not gonna name the company, they do it all the time, but I know for a fact they have taken a lot of money off a lot of people, 5 figures, and then those same people would have to go to somebody else to get it resolved. They didn't even get the payment plan. They just got their money, stretched out their problem for a while until you basically gave up and had to go to somebody else just to get a regular online payment agreement.
So tell me this, because we're talking about different things so we can get these people together. So what are some practical tips? Because when you become have a 7-figure business, then people listen okay, what did she do? So when it comes to social media, what are some tips you can give to entrepreneurs that's still trying to figure out how do I get more clients and raise the revenue so I can become that 7-figure earner?
Make a content for the audience you want and don't stray from that. You want a perfect example, Tyler Perry. You think he cared when we don't like divorce in black or beauty in black? He don't care. He don't care because he make it for his audience and he got a cult following. Or Beyonce, make the content for the people you want. And then when other people are complaining, just block them out because that's not who you talking to. The people who want you, they gonna see your content and they gonna share it too because that's just what they do. I just tell people you just gotta make sure that if you're gonna be working with low-income clients, then you're going to want to make sure you're letting them know about every credit, everything that they can receive because they need it the most. If you're going to be dealing with 7-figure earners, then you need to be talking about how they not going to be able to pay taxes because we pay a lot of taxes. So we want to know how can we save for the future, or pay our kids, or rent out, release our personal assets to ourselves so we don't have to pay. We want all of those things. So you just got to find your audience. And sometimes you can just be you until the audience finds you. Because I had to do that. I was just doing recordings, giving out tax information, and then seeing who was reaching out to me. Then once I took a look at the clients I was serving, I was able to better know who my best client was, and then I was giving out information for them. Even if you see, like, I do Facebook ads, my Facebook ads has my best client speaking. So when you see them and you like, why she got this guy speaking? Because that's my best client talking.
Love it.
Nugget.
That was a good nugget. So, as we wrap up, we want you to tell the viewers, the audience, how they can find you if they need you.
Well, TikTok and Instagram is Yvette Knows Best. That's my trademark. So that's on Facebook. LinkedIn is my name, Yvette D Best. I'm on Facebook a lot. I love Facebook platform. But I realized that TikTok is where I could be a more freestyle, so I like to do videos over there. I don't like to do a lot of videos on Facebook. I know a lot of people go live on Facebook, but I like to do my videos over in TikTok.
Love it. Well, we thank you so much, Yvette, for being here.
Yes,
thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Gave so many nuggets. We love it. We love it. We love it.
Yes, love
We
to be here.
do. So closing out, I hope that you guys got these really good nuggets. But basically, I mean, you got to get your business straight. All in a nutshell, you got to get your business straight, and you need to be planning, right?
Yep.
And all this stuff out here that we hear that people say, they say you can do all this stuff, we just killed it and let you know the real deal.
Right.
Because
thinking y'all don't have to pay no money, honey.
And that's not what it is. So we gonna get y'all together. Y'all just gotta stay tuned. I mean, Yvette, you just really, you did that, because that was it.
That was some good.
They needed to hear that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. So make sure, if y'all are not following us, make sure y'all follow us on all our pages. Gwen Business Corner. Follow Gwen. Expert Tax Service. Make sure you follow, and make sure y'all subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are trying to get our subscribers. Subscribe. This your girl Gwen.
And I'm Deonta B. And you know what? We're gonna keep giving you all these nuggets. So that's why she wants you. You gonna miss all the tea. And you know, y'all like to watch all that tea that's talking about all this reality stuff. We want to give you the business tea. So stay tuned. We got some more tea coming up for you.
We out.
Peace.